guard.
Yeah, well, I won a couple of like shitty grappling tournaments. What,
with the head scissors?
Yeah.
It fucking works, man.
Yeah, if
head
you can squeeze
scissors,
hard enough. Yeah. It wasn't against the best competition though. The guy might have been 55.
Still legit though.
Yeah, if you get the knees on the right part of the neck and squeeze like a bitch, it hurts.
And especially if you practice it. I feel like the head scissors is something like, look, think about when you're cinching a darce, right? Or when you go under for a darce and you clamp a hold of your hands and you pinch down. Some guys are expert at that, right?
Absolutely.
They develop that 6 squeeze, that 6 clamp down. If you just constantly drill that all the time, you could fuck people up with that. Just get better at it. Just get better at it. Like everything else.
You could.
Right?
But I don't want to be the guy going for a head scissors in the UFC and it was like, fucking Bisping with his British wrestling. Look at him doing a head scissors. It's like the women going for the head and arm. You know, in women's MMA, you try a head and arm.
Yeah.
As a man, they're going to take you back and choke you out. Simple as that. But
well,
women's
Ronda Rousey
MMA
and Liz Carmouche. Ronda's thing was always get that headlock and then hip toss, get a girl to the ground, and then get her in an armbar.
Why does that work on women but not men?
Neck strength, probably.
Yeah, but their heads and necks are even smaller, so they can slide out of it easier. You know what I mean?
I don't think it really works. I think what we saw in the Ronda Rousey fight with Liz Carmouche took her back and almost choked her out. Yeah. And if Liz was the Liz of today, she probably would have choked her out.
Sure.
She just wasn't quite experienced enough at the time. I think the reason why you're seeing it more in women's MMA is because although the level is very high with like Valentina Shevchenko and Jacek and Cyborg, the level of the champions is very high. There's still the lower levels nowhere near. You could watch a guy on an undercard that's fighting on Fight Pass who's a fucking world-class demon in the UFC, who's a man. The women, there's way less of them, and the competition's not as strong.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been doing it as long. Right. The talent pool isn't as big.
Right. The women aren't as interested in it.
I was just about to say the percentage of men interested in pursuing martial arts and mixed martial arts as opposed to the percentage of women, way lower.
Right.
I don't know what the percentage is of men. If we said it's 50 just for the sake of the argument, women it's going to be 5%.
Yeah, if that.
If that.
It's 5% probably men.
If my wife said, Michael, I'm going to start training because I want to be an MMA fighter, I say, pack your bags, get out. I'd say, shut the hell up, make me a sandwich. What are you talking about? Come on. Fucking, you're going to be an MMA fighter, are you? Ooh.
Oh, imagine watching the mother of your children get head kicked.
It's crazy. So my Thai boxing coach, actually, you mentioned Vinny Shoreman at the start. He used to be in business with Vinny. Daz Morris, very, very good friend of mine. He was my Thai boxing coach.
Shout out to Vinny Shoreman.
Shout out to Daz Morris. And his girlfriend, he was cornering his the mother of his children. She was a Thai boxer, Cassie, and shout out Cassie, no disrespect, but to be cornering your loved one, that you're in a relationship, and she got knocked out cold in a Thai boxing fight. I was like, wow, Daz, how do you do that? And, the mental strength to understand that this is a different relationship. She's the student and the teacher, and this is just the way it is. I mean, that takes a lot. I don't think I could do that. It's incredible.
Well, it takes a different kind of woman to want to do that, right? That kind of woman, the worst thing I think you could ever do is take a woman who wants to fight and tell her no.
Sure, yeah, because she's going to find a way.
Like if you're dating Valentina Shevchenko,
good luck with that.
Good luck with that
one. You're going to get spinning kicked to the midsection, to the balls. Okay,
she's a fucking monster, isn't she?
She's great.
She's
awesome.
One of the quickest spinning back kicks I've ever seen.
There's not too many, and I say this with the greatest of respect to women's mixed martial arts, and I respect everybody that applies themselves and is willing to get off a couch and make something of their life. So, I'm not being overly judgmental, but there isn't too many that I really get excited for and that really thoroughly enjoy watching, because as we just said, the level of skill isn't quite there yet.
Right.
As I say, it's nothing to do with genders.
Right.
Why do I want to see a watered-down product? If I can see these guys doing it at such an extreme level, I don't really want to watch smaller people that can't hit as hard with lesser technique. You know what I mean? As I say, nothing to do with gender, but obviously there's a few exceptions to the rule. And Shevchenko, Jon Jacek, Amanda Nunes, Cyborg.
Yes.
There's definitely amazing talent out there. There really is.
It's just a smaller pool.
It's a smaller pool.
Like that fight this weekend was sensational. Jon Jacek and Valentina. That was a very, very high level fight.
Oh, it really was.
Excellent.
It really
to watch.
was, yeah. And Jan Jacek impressed me, you know, because she had I think it was a tough 3 rounds, 4th round, you know, she probably might have edged that 4th round, you know, so it's impressive that she still had the fight in her so late in the fight.
Valentina's just too strong, too good a grappler, and and bigger, physically bigger. Like you see her back,
we can see it.
Traps,
you can see it when they're against each other. Jan Jacek's very slim, very slender, and she's Shevchenko has muscle on her.
Well, Shevchenko was successful at 135. You know, that's a big gap between 35 and 115. Where Jan Jacek
and the reason Jan Jacek went up to 125 is because couldn't get a belt back at 115, and I say that with the absolute greatest of respect. You know.
Well, a lot of it was the weight cut was crushing her, and then she didn't have to cut weight for 125. But on the flip side, you're fighting a bigger, stronger woman than Valentina.
No, exactly. If she was fighting another strawweight, went up to 125, maybe things would be different. But that was always, on paper, a bad matchup.
Yes, I agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it went down the way I thought it was going to go down.
Yeah, same here.
There's a lot of fights. But the main event, man, the main event was one of those fights where I was like, I don't know.
Max and Ortega,
yeah. I was like, if Max, and if it goes to the ground and Max gets caught up in something, I mean, Ortega